Breaking news. Arteta gives final verdict on Ademola, Lookman, and Raheem Sterling. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed another done deal for the Gunners. Yes, folks, he's coming. And as if that wasn't enough, Arsenal is also considering a £12 million alternative to Bukayo Saka. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. Mikel Arteta might find himself facing a pretty big decision soon, having to choose between two possible attacking signings before the transfer window closes. Arsenal have been linked with Ademola, Lookman, and Raheem Sterling recently, which has sparked some excitement. Arteta is clearly looking to strengthen his attacking options this summer, and it's no secret that the club has been keeping an eye on a bunch of different targets for that position. Unfortunately, Benjamin Sesko turned down Arsenal, and things have been pretty quiet when it comes to Nico Williams lately. But here's where it gets interesting. Arsenal have put in a £42.5 million offer for Lookman, the Atalanta winger, and there's even talk that Jakub Kivior could be thrown into the deal to sweeten it. Meanwhile, Chelsea seems to be nudging Sterling out the door. Arteta's admired the 82-cap England international for quite some time, especially since they worked together back in their Manchester City days. Now, the Gunners might be in a good spot to land one of these players before the summer window slams shut. Should Arsenal sign Ademola, Lookman, or Raheem Sterling? Lookman is the younger of the two options, just 26 years old. He really stepped up last season, even scoring a hat trick in the Europa League final, helping Atalanta beat Bayer Leverkusen. But if you look at his time in the Premier League with Everton, Fulham, and Leicester City, the 23-cap Nigerian international didn't exactly set the world on fire with his performances. Still, even though many Arsenal fans aren't too thrilled about the idea of signing Lookman, there's a chance he's just a late bloomer. Arteta might believe that there's still untapped potential in the forward, and he could be betting on Lookman to show even more in the future. There's definitely more reason to think that Lookman's best days are still ahead of him compared to Sterling. Sterling, now 29, hasn't really lived up to expectations since moving to Stamford Bridge. In fact, he's even slipped off the radar for the national team, missing out on Gareth Southgate's Euro 2024 squad. The moment for Arsenal to make a move for Sterling has come and gone. He's not the player who's going to elevate the Gunners to the next level anymore. On the other hand, going for Lookman might be a bit of a gamble, but the potential upside is much higher if it pays off. It looks like Arteta has a tough decision to make with two interesting options on the table. If Arsenal had to choose between Ademola, Lookman, and Raheem Sterling before the window closes, who would you prefer the Gunners to sign? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Arsenal have now reached an agreement to sign Real Sociedad midfielder Mikel Marino after weeks of negotiations. Marino has been a steady presence for Real Sociedad since he joined from Newcastle in 2018, and he really caught the eye during Spain's victorious Euro 2024 campaign. At 28, he's been identified as the perfect candidate to bolster Arsenal's midfield, bringing a ton of experience and top-notch quality that should make an immediate difference. With just 1 year left on his contract at Real Sociedad and no intention of renewing, several clubs were eager to snap him up. But Marino had his heart set on Arsenal, and fans can thank Mikel Arteta for making that happen. Fabrizio Romano has now revealed the role Arteta played in the deal to take Marino to Arsenal on an initial 3-year deal. Mikel Arteta has been crucial also for Marino's move to Arsenal. Positive talks with the player, Marino had at least 2 more proposals, but he's been clear, only Arsenal. He's set to travel for medical, signing until 2028 plus option. He posted on X. It was previously reported that Atletico Madrid and Barcelona wanted Marino, so for Arteta to convince the Spaniard to turn down offers from 2 of Spain's biggest clubs is quite the coup. Mikel Arteta's transfer pool secured Ricardo Calafiori and Mikel Marino deals. Both Ricardo Calafiori and Marino had offers from big clubs in their home countries, and Arsenal knows all too well how these situations can play out. Just think back to when Manuel Locatelli chose Juventus over a move to London, but it's clear that Arteta's growing influence at the club is turning heads across Europe. The chance to play under him has become a major draw for players making transfer decisions. Sure, some of Arteta's unconventional methods have raised eyebrows now and then, but you can't argue with the results. He's built a squad that's capable of challenging for the title, and these new signings could be the final piece of the puzzle in the race for the Premier League crown this season. Lion winger Raychaux could be available for Arsenal this summer. With less than 10 days left in the transfer window, Arsenal still haven't added an attacking player, and some fans are starting to get a bit worried. There's a growing concern that there might not be enough backup for Bukayo Saka. If Eddie Nketiah and Rice Nelson both end up leaving, fans will definitely be hoping for another forward to come in. Ideally, Arsenal could bring in a winger who can provide cover and rotation for Saka. Given Saka's importance, this new player doesn't necessarily have to be a starter. A promising young talent could fit the bill perfectly. Arsenal are keeping their eyes peeled for any market opportunities, and it looks like one might have popped up. There's a winger available now for as little as £12 million, which could be a real steal. Raychaux, the 21-year-old French winger, is one of the brightest talents Lyon has produced in recent years, and was once considered one of Europe's top young prospects. Cherki did hit a rough patch last season, and with Lyon needing to offload players and just a year left on his contract, he's set to move on. Yet French Football News has reported that Paris Saint-Germain are no longer in the mix for him, and according to The Athletic, Fulham have already made a £12 million offer for Cherki. In his 141 appearances for Lyon, Cherki has racked up 17 goals and 25 assists from various attacking roles. At just 21, he still has a lot of untapped potential. At £12 million, he could be a great gamble for Arsenal this summer. Arsenal legend Thierry Henry's high praise for Raychaux. Cherki was part of Thierry Henry's France squad that made it to the final of the Olympics football tournament. In March, Henry praised Cherki, calling him one of the best dribblers he's ever seen. Henry remarked, "Cherki should have been frustrated with his recent form. It's good to see him bounce back. Not seeing his name on the list must have lit a fire under him. He needs to be consistent because there's a big difference between showing character sometimes and showing it all the time. I'm not questioning his talent. There's no one I've seen dribble as fast as him with both feet, but making a splash early and not starting games now says something. We all enjoy watching Cherki, but he has to step up. He loves football and knows what it takes to get back in the spotlight. Even though Cherki had a tough year, if Arteta can bring him on board, he'll have the chance to shine in a supportive environment where he can really flourish. Cherki could slot into a rotational role, easing the pressure on him to deliver right away. His ability to add serious quality during transitions, whether as a winger on either side, would be a big asset. Given his low price and high potential, snapping him up could turn out to be a brilliant move for Arsenal if they decide to pursue him. £25 million Arsenal target is now moving elsewhere as Mikel Arteta misses out. Arsenal have just made huge progress in a bid to sign Marino, but are about to face upset regarding another target. A story from the Mirror claimed that Arsenal were keen to sign Yasser Asprilla this summer after he lit up the championship with Watford in the 2023-24 campaign. It was said that the Gunners were considering a swoop for the Colombia international after he scored 6 goals and also provided 7 assists in 44 championship appearances last season. Now, however, Fabrizio Romano has revealed that Asprilla is moving to Girona, the Spanish team which is part of the City Football Group along with Manchester City, Troyes, and others, is on the hunt for a replacement for Savinho, who recently joined Pep Guardiola's squad. It looks like they might have found their guy in the South American talent. According to a report from The Athletic, signing Asprilla will set the UEFA Champions League outfit back £25 million. While Asprilla would have been an exciting addition to Arteta's squad, it makes sense why he chose to join Girona instead of Arsenal. With Bukayo Saka already shining in Asprilla's position, the Colombian would likely have struggled to secure a regular starting spot at the Emirates. Girona, on the other hand, has a clear opening for him after Savinho moved to Manchester City, so it's hard to fault Asprilla for making a smart career move. It's actually refreshing to see a young talent make such a strategic choice, especially when you compare it to those who seem to jump into whatever project is happening at Chelsea without much thought. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.